We're all familiar with these numbers, and I'm not bringing up anything new here, but it is a major problem. The graph is real, by the way. Agriculture is responsible for 26% of our greenhouse gas emissions globally every single year. Our food supply has been designed so poorly, and to add on to this, we need to feed a planet of 10 billion people by 2050. This starts to look like an existential crisis. The time for change was yesterday. It's not enough to come up with new products using the same old agriculture. We need deeper solutions. We need to change the entire food system. And we need to do it with food and ingredients that are not only efficient and sustainable, but are delicious and nutritious. That's where we come in. I'm Adam Noble, the CEO and founder of Noblegen, and today I'm going to walk you through our solution to the coming food crisis. What I am going to show you is a radical elemental transformation of how global food network will work. Thanks for joining me. Before we get into our solution, I wanted to touch on some of the solutions that are out there today. As you can see here, some of the plant-based brands that many of you are familiar with, they are everywhere. The Beyond Meats, the Impossible Foods, the Just Eggs of the world have blown up the market wide open. Every week there is a new plant-based alternative available to consumers, but plant-based meat really does not make a major change to our agriculture system. If you break the process down to its core, you're really just taking a plant-based protein that already exists, like soy or pea, and adding some extra steps to make it more like meat. You never created any new protein, and you've actually just created more waste and more work. Next, we have cellular cultured meat or lab-grown meat. This solution almost takes domesticated farm animals out of the equation entirely. It's real meat that is grown in labs or bioreactors. The science is very cool, and the outcomes are truly amazing, but is it efficient enough to change the food system? Will we be able to produce cell-cultured or lab-grown meat at a scale large enough to offset how expensive it can be to make? I know we will eventually, but for now, we are not. The process just takes too much energy and money at the moment. And unfortunately, you cannot ferment animal cells in the way that you normally do other organisms. When they produce lactic acid, they can die. They're not meant to be outside the body, and they just do not like to grow at that method, and unfortunately creates a significant inefficiency. I'm not going to tell you that these solutions aren't going to make a difference, because they already are. Being able to offer consumers options today beyond meat is a huge milestone and important for the future of any technology. It's going to take many technologies to feed the world by 2050, and there are many companies out there working towards this goal, and we shouldn't discourage any of them. The more solutions we have, the better. The more collaborations we have, the better. We're all doing the same thing and working towards the same goal, and the future of the planet and humanity is at stake. It sounds dramatic, but that is, unfortunately, the truth. We need to change the food system, and that's where Noblegen and Unite Foods comes in. We're here today at the first annual International Congress on Euglenoids to celebrate Euglena and all the amazing things that it is capable of doing. At Noblegen, we see Euglena as a complex, single-celled organism with millennia of cellular intelligence. Billions of years of cellular knowledge can be found within Euglena, and we're working to unlock all of it. We study the natural genius of Euglena and empower each cell to express its own biology, something that we like to call facilitated expression. Since Euglena contains both animal and plant metabolic abilities, it's both more efficient at producing lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins than any of the current organisms in our agricultural systems. This makes sense because the plants and animals our current agricultural system is built around evolved from the unicellular organisms or microbes like Euglena. So if plants and animals evolved from organisms like Euglena, why couldn't we re-evolve the food system from one of the most efficient, adaptable organisms known to science? We think that we can. And we're confident that we can build a completely vertically integrated solution with Euglena. Imagine complete vegan proteins, nutrient-rich carbs, sustainable fats, functional ingredients, and animal and free meat and dairy and egg alternatives all made from one source at one facility using one technology. It sounds crazy, but that is what we are doing at Noblegen, and that's what Unite Foods is going to be all about, an entire food system made from Euglena. A food system built using a unique mixture of modern technology and ancient fermentation techniques. A food system that encourages innovation and relies upon science. A food system that sees microbes as the livestock instead of the animals. A food system that will work with farmers, not against them. Our goal isn't to completely replace agriculture as we know it today. Our goal is to work with farmers that have generations worth of knowledge to improve the agricultural industry that we rely upon. And if we can do all of that with Euglena, imagine what we can do in collaboration with other microbes. But we'll get to that later. Unite Foods is Noblegen's food and ingredient subsidiary. It's a modern agricultural food brand that is reimagining how the world eats. Unite's sustainable production, smart and scalable design, and all-in-one microbial livestock creates staple kitchen ingredients and food products using the power of Noblegen's microbial platform and fermentation technology. The real game changer to the system is that we offer the philosophy of additive nutrition. Taking something like surplus starch or even organic waste from other industries and turning it into new protein. Absorbing waste and excess and adding a brand new source of protein and valuable nutrition to the world. Our input flexibility allows us to use readily available feedstocks and to customize our supply chain to wherever we are producing our product to minimize the footprint to as small as possible. Our modern barns are efficient and cruelty-free and have zero waste and minimal natural processing. Our end products have great functionality and can be used as drop-in solutions for the pantry staples that would typically be animal ingredients. We offer superior nutrition, clean ingredient labels, complete protein, and immune-boosting beta-glucan, all for the body and all allergen-free and animal-free. The Unite platform offers protein, beta-glucans, and lipid ingredients with a broad portfolio of applications that allow our customers to satisfy the consumers for nutritious, animal-free, eco-friendly ingredients. We have value-added functional ingredients like our texturized Euglena protein crisps, and ready-to-gel beta-glucan. Our egg, dairy, and meat food systems are in development and will be ready to showcase in the coming years. Using a fraction of the energy inputs and leveraging one of the most robust product pipelines in the industry. Our biggest roadblock has always been the sensory and the taste and smell. But over the last couple of years, we found maskers that help, and our product development team has learned how to formulate with our ingredients to make better performing products. The next steps is going to be teaching our consumers how to formulate them into their products themselves. Taste and texture will always be key to the consumer, and if formulators catch one whiff of Marini off notes, we found that they don't even try to formulate with the ingredients. If we want to make a difference we know we can make, our products have to taste and smell amazing. Animal-free products don't have to be mediocre tasting animal analogs. We've already been able to impress the meat eaters with our products, so we know our products can be enjoyed by any and all dietary choices. Studies show that there are plenty of meat eaters that want to become flexitarians. They haven't yet because the taste and texture of animal analogs that they've tried aren't close enough to the animal products that they know and love. But the Unite food systems are making progress, and we know we will have products that fit the mold. In fact, we already do. Our texturized Euglena protein, or TEP, is biomass mixed with pea protein and then extruded by one of our partners in Saskatchewan. We then use the pea protein for protein fortification, but once the protein concentrate has been fully developed, we will use that as the sole source of protein in our formulation. When the biomass is extruded, it comes back to us in easy-to-use strips or chunks and flakes that can be used in many different animal analog applications. With the TEP strips, we've been able to make animal-free pulled pork and jerky. The TEP chunks are perfect for animal-free chicken applications. The chunks look just like chicken, and when rehydrated with vegan chicken stock, they taste just like chicken as well. We've used them in stir-fries, soups, nuggets, and other non-chicken applications like animal-free pork and fish sticks. The TEP flakes are almost identical to flaky tuna. When we rehydrate them with liquid smoke and seaweed flavor, this has the exact same taste and mouthfeel as flaky tuna. We consider the TEP our first animal-free meat analog. Its versatility has given game-changing potential to the industry. Another amazing thing that we have been studying is how Euglena reacts in a three-dimensional growth environment. Here's a video of how Euglena actually looks in that environment. I was amazed when I first looked under the microscope to see what Euglena was doing. In the video, you can see that Euglena is literally assembling into what looks like a three-dimensional scaffolding of tissue. This discovery has major implications for the future of meat analogs. Because Euglena has the same ability to build tissue that animals do, we think that we can work with Euglena to build whole cuts of meat. This same idea is seen in the cell-cultured meat, but animals and animal-based products are used, unfortunately, to make those systems. For us, the scale up should be dramatically easier because it is only an extra step or two onto the existing process we have at scale. We're confident to see that we will be able to work with Euglena and other microbes for many aspects of our process, including optimizing feedstocks using mixed microbes to convert feedstocks that we currently can't use. We will also be using the foundation of that structure in other industries. And if we can work with Euglena to master that scaffolding, we should be able to do a lot more than just make the meat analog. We should be able to replicate a number of the same things that have been accomplished with the mycelium technology currently used today. Eco-friendly packaging, animal-based leather, sustainable building materials, more eco-friendly alternative solutions across several industries to help reduce the carbon footprint of some of the most significant contributors to the greenhouse gas challenges we have, all made with collaboration with Euglena. In the early stages of my science career and my search for a dynamic indicator species, I read my first paper on Euglena. I quickly learned just how capable it was, not only as an indicator species, but as an organism in itself. It's safe to say that I became fascinated with Euglena. It may be even safer to say that I became obsessed with it, and I just wanted to learn everything I could about it. I couldn't understand why science had depicted this beautiful creature before me as an outcast. It was one of the first organisms that we were shown under the microscope lens in high school because of how it embodied everything that a cell could be, plant or animal. Euglena just made sense to me. Seeing it as an all-encompassing solutions provider was inherent to me because of somehow it did things completely backwards, but at the same time, it was still able to go from point A to B faster than any other organism could. It wasn't a plant, it wasn't an animal, and I like to think of Euglena as it sat on its own spectrum of dynamic and adaptable functions. In a sense, I think I saw a lot of myself in Euglena, because I too thought about things completely backwards. I'm a lot of things beyond this label, but I do sit on the spectrum of atypical. I am on the autism spectrum, and I won't discuss this in depth because I am far more than a clinical diagnosis. Instead, I have chosen to appreciate that this unusual lens that I see the world through is in fact a gift, not a curse, and I have the opportunity to see things in entirely backwards. And without that gift, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you today. For Noblegen, food is only the starting point for us. Every day we work to unlock new practices in production and processing that bring change and help restore the balance of the planet. Science is in our DNA and the backbone and foundation of everything that we do. We view our relationship with Euglena and truly as a collaboration. Euglena has led us to the food and beverage industry just as it will lead us into other industries. In fact, the success we've had working with Euglena has encouraged us to broaden our approach. Going forward, all of the science and technology and R&D that will happen under the Unite umbrella will continue at Noblegen. When key discoveries are made and solutions are found, we will work to see if there's a route to commercialization. And if there is, we will spin off a new company similar to what we have done with Unite. We are looking at programs to sequester carbon into soil, even revamp the approach to modern agriculture at the farm itself. We are now looking at finding solutions for human health, water, biomaterials, energy, mining, and space industries as well. And once we've established our microbial network, we'll be able to offer our expertise and services to companies outside of Noblegen that are looking for microbial solutions. Even if we are building this vast microbial network, that won't stop us from continuing our work with Euglena. Euglena is still and will always be a major part of who we are and what we will do. It's opened our eyes to an entire world of possibilities. Our work with Euglena will continue in both the food and beverage industry and outside of the industry. Euglena got us here, and Euglena will be a big part of the future going forward. Thank you. I'm Adam Noble, the CEO and founder of Noblegen. I'm so excited for Noblegen to be a part of the Euglena International Network, and I can't wait to see all of the opportunities for collaboration as a result of this conference and the future EIN conferences. Thank you to the EIN for having us, and thank you to all for tuning in to my talk. Take care and have a safe time and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.